Out here, deep in space, far from the warmth of the sun, you would expect everything to be frozen, silent, dead. And yet, NASA found something that shouldn't exist. Jupiter's moon Io is not just alive. It is violent, more volcanically active than any world in our entire solar system, even Earth. At first glance, Io looks like a wounded planet. Burning yellows, toxic reds, frozen whites, a surface that looks infected. But this isn't chaos without reason. It's physics. At its most brutal, Jupiter has nearly 100 moons. Most are small, insignificant, but 4 of them are massive: Ganymede, Callisto, Europa, and Io, the Galilean moons, discovered in the 1600s by Galileo himself. But only one of them is tearing itself apart. Io orbits just 350,000 kilometers above Jupiter's clouds. That's barely farther than the moon is from Earth. But Jupiter is not Earth. Its gravity is monstrous, and Io is trapped in the worst possible position. Not close enough to fall in, not far enough to escape. Every 2 days, Io is stretched, pulled, twisted, squeezed by Jupiter's gravity, and pulled again from the opposite side by the other massive moons. It doesn't orbit in a perfect circle. It moves in an oval, which means the gravitational force is constantly changing. Imagine bending a metal rod back and forth every few seconds. Eventually, it heats up. That is what's happening to an entire moon. The surface of Io bulges up to 100 meters, solid rock lifting and falling like an ocean tide. But this isn't water. It's stone. This constant flexing injects energy deep into the moon's core, and that energy has to escape. The result? Up to 400 active volcanoes, lava eruptions dozens of kilometers high, sulfur plumes rising hundreds of kilometers into space. Io is the only place outside Earth where we know volcanoes are erupting right now. But these volcanoes aren't like ours. There are no tectonic plates, no mountain chains. Instead, the surface cracks open from stress. Lava explodes outward, and then the ground collapses, forming massive lava lakes. One of them, Loki Patera, nearly 200 kilometers across, a molten ocean with an island of solid rock in its center. And yet, Io is freezing. Outside volcanic zones, surface temperatures drop to 130 degrees Celsius. So, where does the heat come from? Not the sun. Jupiter is too far away. The heat comes from gravity, tidal flexing, a cosmic torture device powered by Jupiter itself. But then NASA saw something even stranger. Mountains, spiked, isolated, rising up to 18 kilometers high, twice the height of Mount Everest. No ranges, no chains, just lone peaks stabbed into the sky. They didn't rise slowly. They erupt upward, like something bursting through the crust. This was captured by NASA's Juno spacecraft. After completing its main mission, Juno performed 2 close flybys of Io in 2023 and 2024, only 1,500 kilometers above the surface. What it saw was unlike anything in our solar system. These mountains likely form when massive lava lakes collapse, forcing nearby rock to thrust upward. Imagine if every sinkhole on Earth created a mountain beside it. That is Io, a world in constant rise and fall, for billions of years. But here's the unsettling part. There is no new mission heading to Io. Not anytime soon. JUICE will study icy moons. Europa Clipper will search for alien life. Io is left behind. Not because it isn't fascinating, but because it likely doesn't have life. And in space exploration, life gets priority. So what NASA discovered on Io may be the last close look we get for decades. A world reshaped by invisible forces. A moon torn apart by gravity. A reminder that sometimes the most violent places in the universe aren't the ones near the sun. They're the ones caught in between giants.